Adam, your dice look edible.
My dice?
Yeah, look at them.
They do like
They look like gummies.
My nuts to your foot technique. Would you like it?
My nuts to your
I don't know
mouth.
what universe you are, but this is Earth.
We trained him backwards as a joke.
Backwards as a joke. That was. That was
Looks easy. Up and over. Oof.
10 out of 10 movie.
Yes. Absolute best quote movie. Yes. Can I have 3 pounds of nuts, please? That's a lot of nuts.
He just left with nuts.
What's the one I always think? Oh, Taco Bell. Product placement with Taco Bell. Nacho burritos in chorrito.
From this moment forward, you refer to me as Betty.
Ah, but isn't Betty a girl's name?
Kung Fu into the chicken.
Kung Pao into the
Kung
fist.
Pao
Yeah.
into the chicken.
I kicked your ass as a baby. I'll kick it now, bitch.
Birdie.
Tiger. I'm a birdie too.
Y'all are a bunch of nerds.
Dude, that movie is solid. We
It
actually went and saw it in theaters on purpose.
Oh,
I haven't seen it in
nice.
ages, though.
I was like, this movie looks stupid as shit. Let's go waste money on it. And everybody was on board.
my only takeaway was
I'm Way's father. Wee. The end of the movie. Chosen one, I've changed. Wee. Chosen one. I'm coming. Chosen one. I'm coming.
Goblin House Studios.
Welcome to our actual play tabletop podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 31 of our actual play tabletop podcast. I'm Matt, and I play Shrimp Stomp.
I'm Bianca and I play Leilathia.
I'm Jojo and I play Ninx.
I'm Galliot. I'm Galliot Delaric, and I'm playing Shrimp. Not Shrimp Stomp. I'm playing Shrimp Stomp now.
Oh no!
I just beefed that entire thing. I'm Spook Jim, and I'm playing Galliot Delaric.
Hey everyone, I'm Cody and I play Thoradin Stronghollow.
and I am Adam. I am the beach master.
It's a visceral reaction to that.
Amazing delivery.
I like it.
Get your asses off my beach.
I am the BM. All right, thank you for joining us. Episode 31. Episode 30 consisted of a harrowing battle against some Kestrel over this territory. And the party was able to both escape and drive away the Kestrel, and no one lost their lives in the battle. However, Delsinora is very wounded to the point of unconsciousness. Thoradin is pretty hurt, and I believe Leilathia took a hit as well.
I did, yes.
She took
Ouch.
a stone. She took a stone to the face.
Oh, that quite hurt.
Was
That hurts
was it
quite a
in your
bit.
face?
No. Maybe. I don't remember. Maybe it was.
You never specified.
You don't remember that?
Mm-mm. So it had
Okay.
to have been in the head.
It had to have been.
Sure, I don't remember, so it was probably not.
Well, some of the group is in the sled that was constructed behind the horse, and the rest of you are catching up to it. Well, the horse eventually slows and allows you all to reunite. And yeah, you survived. The kestrel are a distant speck in the distance down the beach. So we all try to stabilize Dulcinora, or
Yes, I'm gonna go over and
Heal her
I'm
or
going
something?
I'm gonna look at her. And I'm like panting. I'm like, because running in armor
oh yeah,
is tiring.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
I was gonna.
You're gonna do that. We can both do that. You're dying.
Oh, the spell slots.
All the spell slots.
one of those should go to Thoradin.
Yeah. One of them already has gone to Thoradin. I've got one left after this. It's fine. Where is my... There. I've got one spell slot after this. It's fine. That's a 2. It's a 5.
2.
Plus 5 health.
5 health. Okay, well, Dulcinora's eyes slowly begin to open, and she kind of groans dryly. There's 2 arrows sticking out of her side. Does anyone know enough medical attention to remove these arrows?
Thoradin.
Thoradin, he like walks over, kind of examines the wound.
I've only got a plus 1.
Shrimpstomp knows exactly what to do.
This won't be pleasant.
She just
And-
groans.
I have a plus
He
5
just-
to medicine.
Oh. Whack.
Yeah, he just grabs the arrows and just pulls them out.
Oh, yeah. Thoradin don't care. He doing it.
Sickening squelch.
Like I said, it's like, this won't be pleasant, and I'm sorry for it.
Now you gotta stuff mud in it.
Mud.
That is a 21.
Okay,
It's my medicine check.
you're able to extract the arrows. You notice, since you're right up in that wound, the blood, if you could call it that, is black now.
Icker.
It's ichor, but it's filled with something, and it feels like sand or salt. It's weird. Something you've never seen in a living person.
Hey, when they say put salt on those wounds, you're not supposed to actually do it.
Something's flowing through her veins.
Thoradin
It's
like
weird.
gasp. He's like, Bicetoin. He like kind of dips his finger into it and kind of.
Lick it.
Mm.
Oh no!
Gosh.
It tastes like shrimp.
Oh, no, it wasn't me.
She looks down at the wound and. Yes, I know. It's strange.
Thoradin's gonna like back up a little bit. Like, well, that's weird
That's weird.
and disconcerting. And then he's gonna like accidentally like kind of hit the arrow that's still sticking out of him. He's like, oh god.
Now it's in my bloodstream.
No, like with his
Oh.
elbow. Like, oh god, oh I forgot about that.
I got it. Grab it.
Oh no! Thoradin dies.
Oh no!
Shrimpstomp's already shoving like wet sand into the wound.
It'll take care of it.
Medicine check. Here we go.
No. I'll do it.
I mean, it was 17 plus 3. It's 20.
Goblin medicine.
Goblin medicine.
Oh yes,
He's got,
very
like,
healthy.
Thoradin just like not expecting it. He's like, oh god.
just this little red hand, pop it out, and you just sand.
Now,
Oh.
Because I have the herbalist kit, I can do a medicine check. Because I can create antitoxins and potions for healing.
are you able to do any healing with treatment?
Not that I have on me.
Okay. You can keep it from getting infected,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
imagine. Okay. So y'all get patched up.
Oh, it hurts so much.
You gonna use any healing on yourself?
I will go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on myself, which is 1d8 plus 4, I believe. Yes.
Because it says that I can create remedies and
That's 11
potions.
health.
You need to look up what you have to get a hold of to make healing potions, because that would be valuable for all of you to have.
Yep. So Shrimp Stomp sees Thoradin healing, and it pushes all the sand back out of that little wound. And see, I told you.
Yep. Thank you, Master Shrimp Stomp.
I know how to heal people. I'm so good.
Leilathi is just gonna eat her health berries. It's like healing berries
Good berries.
and good berries.
Nug berries.
I hope they're not nug berries.
No one heard. They probably are.
Does Shrimp Stomp just think like all of the ground has healing properties?
Yes.
So if you just eat dirt when you have a stomachache, it'll fix it?
Probably.
The goblin deity, it and its offspring are just the earth is a womb for it.
Yep.
That just nurtures it.
Gross.
Icky.
Yeah, hopefully y'all never meet that thing. Though Thoradin he knows from the war
Mm-hmm.
about those things. Well, okay. Well, what do you do immediately after this battle? After you patch yourselves up? It's only midday of day 10.
Probably keep on heading on, trying to get to this shipwreck.
By what you've been told, you're pretty close to the first shipwreck. Of which the only thing you know about is it's been here for years. It's definitely not the one you're looking for. You know that. But it's not far from you. And beyond that might be some fishing villages.
I say let's make it to the ship and find a safe place. Use it kind of as a campsite.
Might be a good idea.
Yep.
Okay.
Galliot, would that be a good idea?
Sorry, I zoned out. We found a shipwreck?
Oh.
You know that there's one not far, the first one that people have said, oh, I think there's a shipwreck about 50 miles out.
Gotcha, and we're almost there.
But it's
Yeah,
definitely not the one you're looking for, because the one you're looking for is recent.
of course. It shouldn't hurt. There's not going to be anything in there. It's probably been fully ransacked. The most we'll find is like a little, what are they called?
The spray?
Yeah, a spray. I just started with an S. I was going to call it a little goopy boy.
Oh, no.
You know, the goop monsters.
Oh,
The
that,
booger monsters.
The booger monsters.
roll to see which way the tide is going. I'm going to bring out the surprise.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord,
man.
no.
Well, ahead of you on the beach, you see a dark spot on the horizon. As you get closer and closer, you see that there's something large in the water. And by the time you get within sight of it, the tide is starting to come in. About half of the ship is underwater, the slowly rising tide. And you see a large, decrepit ship that's been out here for at least 50 years. It's full of holes and debris. The masts are gone. It looks like hell. And it's the back half of it and some of the front is totally encrusted with salt. And the sand of the beach has come up about halfway from the keel and above. And yeah, it's covered in the remains of barnacles. And there's a few crabs scuttling around in and out of little holes in the sand underneath the ship.
So as we draw near, you can see, if anyone's paying attention, Galliot starts like physically vibrating. He's so excited.
So excited. Yeah, Galliot, you can tell this is a fairly modern ship that they still use these days called a carrack. And you don't know the story of how this one came to be wrecked.
Mhm.
But yeah, y'all have found your first shipwreck.
Woohoo!
Well,
Not that it's, going to be quite useful for you.
that's a boat.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a boat.
So that's
It's
what
a
they
ship.
look like.
It might be the biggest, well, aside from the city, it's probably the biggest non-city structure you've seen. Shrimp Stomp.
So the second intentionally floating thing I've ever seen built after us crossing the river.
Oh, that's true.
So this is the first time I've had any context of something that would actually belong on water.
Did y'all get real close to it to inspect it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, you see that tons of stuff have been carved into the wood of the surface, and there's several stacks of stones in front of it, intentionally stacked stones, and you see that there's primitive and very weathered altars that probably the local people have erected and carved symbols and words into the wood. And it looks like there's several shrines to Neocles, the sea god.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe this is sort of since he is said to drag them up off of the seabed and onto the shore, it's almost a religious place of worship for the locals that worship the sea god.
You said there was like a lot of engravings in the wood.
Mm-hmm. Carvings that are related to the sea god.
Shrimp Stomp's going to carve his face on part of the wood.
Awesome. Yeah, you can find a clear spot and put your face there.
This shrimp stomp just carves this.
No, it's literally just going to be just the face,
Gotcha.
The Goblin House Studios logo.
basically.
Okay. I love it. All right, Galliot, make a perception check.
Okay. No questions asked. What is that? Eesh. That's a 12.
You see that where the sand and water and salt meets the ship, there's several little sprays in their blob form just lurking there. Maybe it's whatever their version of sleep is.
Gotcha.
So there's probably more.
He'll keep an eye on them since there's multiple. But first he wants to carve something into the wood as well.
What do you carve into the wood?
He thanks Neocles for the ship and says it looks really cool.
Nice. The sea god is happy.
And then underneath he carves in Galliot was here.
Galliot is here.
He spells it W-U-Z.
Yeah.
Was here.
And instead of here, he just puts an X.
You see that there's a few rope ladders that have probably been put there later by these people that see it as a religious site that would enable you to climb up into the ship. But of course, the horse could not.
Horses don't know how to climb.
Galliot, can we go up in there?
Oh yeah, it's perfectly chill.
Shrimp Stomp immediately starts climbing up into the ship.
What do you mean it's cold in there?
Oh no. It's not like cold. It's like it's
Oh
okay.
my god.
Nynx tries to jump to reach the ladder.
You will need help. You'll need a little bit of help.
Although these boats are kind of like religious sites, the locals tend to not really care. It's already decrepit. As long as you're not actively breaking in the supports, you're fine.
Lalathia, a moon's shadow, looks at you and looks at the horse and says, "I'll mind the horse if you wish."
I think that would be the best idea, Moonshadow.
He paused through the sand looking for something interesting buried.
He's going to stay with the horse.
The Heesnaw.
I forget how heavy it is.
And then here's your...
Instead of climbing up to the top immediately, Galliot wants to see if he can enter through one of the holes at the bottom and check out the bottom floor, see if there's anything in there. Or anyone in there first.
So good point. There's one particularly large hole, might be what sunk the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a port side. It's big enough that you could just stoop a little bit and walk right in.
Gotcha.
And you'd see that the bottom part is filled with sand, and the remains of coral and dead urchins that are just desiccated, and like a lot of sea life has been living in here for quite some time before it was drug up on land. But the stairs are somewhat intact. You could climb up into the next level even. It looks like several people have been through this ship in the past generation.
I'll go ahead, climb up to the next level.
The ship comes apart.
Yeah.
You can, all the levels are available. Except the fore and aft are just pretty simple.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Oh, man. There's
Oh,
sky
man.
thistle rolled up in there.
Is there? Oh, those are going to be masked eventually.
Oh, yeah. And then that one doesn't come off, does it?
It is. It's tight.
Gotcha. Nice.
So in there, you see evidence in one kind of hidden part that's away from all the rest. Where it looks like there had been a shrine to something that's been destroyed and removed. And you can see that the wood has been scoured away if something had been carved there. And you just get the sense that something had been there that's gone.
Gotcha.
Desecrated. Thornton, what would you do? You know that in a few hours the tide is going to come in far enough that this ship will be surrounded by water. So you don't have long to explore it. And have some dry land to step down to.
Well, Thornton's going to go ahead and climb up one of the ladders and get to the deck.
Okay. In what remains of the rigging, there's colorful pieces of fabric that had been dangling like little flags or pennants. You find the top part of the ship is bone dry. You find the remains of lots of flowers that were in like leis, all joined together, that had been laid on little statues that are real skinny, like totem poles, to represent the sea god who's super, super tall. And just kind of vaguely human. They're crude carvings. But all these dead flowers around it that have dried out in the sun. It would be fairly comfy to camp here, but the tide would block you off from the shore in no time.
So, you like just kind of like yelling up to Shrimp Stomp and Lilathia. What exactly are we looking for here?
Anything we can find that could be useful.
Anything, okay.
And just sightseeing in general.
I found a ship, Thornton!
Nynx is just kind of going through the ship, just collecting like bones and other things that would help.
Shrimp Stomp's gonna run down the stairs, go all the way to the back of the ship at the top, and be like, "Oh, I'm over water! I'm
Just
the
like
chieftain
up
of
over
the
here.
world."
Just like over
The
here.
Mhm.
wood starts giving way. I guess Thornton's gonna go into see if he can find the captain's quarters.
Have you spent much time? Dwarves don't.
Dwarves don't, but he understands the
Yeah.
layout of
Mhm.
the basic layout of
He's a
ships.
military man.
Yeah.
You go to the space where you would expect the captain's cabin to be, and you find a room, but it's just devoid of, like all the other rooms, it's devoid of much of anything except these little primitive shrines. But you might see a few weathered odds and ends in the woodwork to lead you to believe, this is probably the captain's quarters.
So just kind of look around.
He probably went down with the ship. As big of a hole as was in that side, the
Yeah.
ship probably sunk very fast. Speaking of, Nynx, you find bones all over the place, especially on the lower level, of long dead sea creatures. You don't see any bones that look human to you, though.
Yeah.
No wet bones. No booger bones.
Well, those are wet on the bottom because of the tide, and then of course the goo boys. What was it?
The goo boys.
The booger boy. booger
The
monsters.
sprays.
And Minx goes even around the shrines, and even though some of the flowers and things are, aged a little, she doesn't completely pluck them clean, but she grabs enough of the petals and whatever to help,
Little
and
bit.
she replaces it. She takes the petal and leaves the mushroom.
Oh, okay. So you give the sea god an offering.
As in, since I'm taking this, I'm replacing it with.
Gotcha.
Because after all, in Nynx's mind, she's not a thief. If she's going to take, she's going to replace.
Gotcha.
Because, she's not about desecrating anything.
Nice. Womp.
And in her own little way, she tells him, I'm taking this to do good. And since I'm going to use it for good, I'm, replacing it with something newer.
Oh, whoops.
A fresh offering. Yeah.
Because I think you're worth something fresh, not something that's weathered with time.
I gotcha.
Hey, those were my favorite bones.
Delsinora stays on the beach with the horse
In Moonshadow.
in Moonshadow. All right, well, you can't find anything that much. You don't find anything else that's very noteworthy aside from the shrines. It's been here for 50 years, so anything of even interest, much less value, has been long stripped away. And in about an hour, the tide will come through, and you will have to swim away from the boat as opposed to walk.
Mm.
We should
mean-
probably get back to Horse and Wolf. Horse
Stop,
and
you should camp on the
Moonshadow.
boat.
That's what Shrimp Stop's probably
Yeah.
about to ask. Like, can we stay here tonight?
Galliot, you'd be able to tell him that in about 12 hours, the tide will have retreated, and y'all could, walk away.
Yeah, we just get on up there.
You still
Yeah,
you
but
can't get the horse up there.
Yeah.
do we want to stay here for 12 hours after we've already looked and didn't find what we needed?
We'd also be leaving Delsinora alone.
Mhm.
She could get up on the boat. She just doesn't wish to try right now.
But some of us, they meditate, the other ones sleep. Are we trying to get 12 hours of sleep?
We need to do a full rest because some of us need it.
You need at least 8 hours to get your full rest. As a group.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, what are we going to do for those extra 4 hours?
Or we could play cards or
God,
something.
you might have to talk to each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shrimp Stop does have a deck of cards.
Mm-hmm.
We might have to talk to each other. Gross.
Nah, we'll just play dice.
I'm just saying, I just don't want us to feel like we're trapped here until...
So I think the only possible issue is horse, as horses don't know how to climb steps very well. And
No, they
The
don't.
hole in the ship is not big enough for a horse.
yeah, we can make it big enough.
You could, but there's not any stairs large enough or sturdy enough for the horse to actually get up on the upper deck.
To get out of
And
the
the
water.
whole lower deck will be flooded.
Yeah.
Yeah. As cool as that sounds, I think...
We need
Might
to,
not be a good idea.
Yeah.
We need to make it to the closest town.
You think that you heard that there's a couple of fishing villages at some point after the first trek.
Mhm.
You're not sure if it's how close though.
Yeah, and if not, it's not like we haven't slept outside before.
True. We can just set up camp further inland.
Back in the rocks, just like the
Yeah.
last 2 nights.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
escape the tide. Okay.
Shrimp Stomp will sadly leave the boat then and get back down on the beach.
Is it, yes, sorry,
I mean,
bud.
nothing's stopping you from staying in the boat.
Oh no, not by myself. Not surrounded by water. No, 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 no.
Unless you want to be surrounded by water and swim back, we can't stay in the boat.
As you're thinking about leaving, maybe some of you have already gone down the road. You see several little water sprites pop up along the edge of the uppermost. I forgot to look up this term. The railing, the edge of the boat.
Mm.
Several water sprites appear up there as if they're watching you.
Ugh, not more of these things.
And several more pop up further down on the bridge. Where did I wrote all these terms down.
He studied boat parts,
Oh,
guys.
Here it is. The main deck.
Yes, the main deck.
You get the impression that those sprites were everywhere. They just went into hiding when y'all climbed on the boat.
Yep. I don't think we would have made it if we just set up camp here.
Yeah. We should probably go.
They haven't hurt you.
Yet.
Well, yeah, but
They
this is
just bubble and
theirs.
bounce.
Thornton just goes through them.
Yeah.
They go and bounce out of your way.
Thornton's down off the ship.
Yep.
I can't reach over there. Yeah,
Some
Galliot's
of
just
them-
gonna follow suit, not really pay them any mind since this is their ship. He's just gonna keep going.
Some of the ones that had to get out of the way turn pink and purple and kind of glow a little bit.
Shrimp Stomp's going to kindly wave at them as he walks around them, trying not to touch anybody, and go back down that same rope ladder he went down to where he never touches the water.
The wet sand is bad enough.
Yep. Yep.
Nix does her thing where she gives them little, like, not necessarily treats, but little,
Little tiny gifts.
or something like, not like bird seed, but something nourishing to eat,
Something they wouldn't normally get on the beach. Something from the land.
Yes. That she knows that they would, kind of like chocolate,
It's going to
But
be
not
that piece of
necessarily
skin
chocolate.
that she took from the...
just
get
because she knows, I mean, they're kinfolk, kind of, in a way.
Distantly, but yeah.
So she's just like, here's a little something that you don't get all the time. And then she just makes her own way down.
Some of them accept it and they glow a light blue color.
Because, she's not going to be the one to just, ignore them so.
Okay.
Like when you see a long lost family, you're like, hey! And you give them gifts or hugs or whatever. That's her way
Yeah.
of, you move me.
No, you're stuck on the boat.
Do you go in the water or are you out of the water?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
He just dives right off into the water.
I have the feeling this water's not very deep.
Oh, yeah,
It's
this
not
is just
For
like...
Nynx, it's
It probably is.
the surf
Yeah.
alone would just.
It just washes out to sea.
See,
Just
Galliot would have to come back
floating on
here
a-
and jump off to get...
floating on a
So
mushroom
it doesn't
inner
break
tube.
his neck.
Yeah.
Because Nynx, probably her hat would be more like a floaty for us that'd catch her.
Yep, you held on to it. Well, as y'all slowly begin to depart, and walk away from the tide up towards the rocks, or eastward, whichever way you go. If any of you take one last look back at the ship, you see a white figure of a woman, long hair, standing at the railing of the upper of the forecastle. Or someone really tall, just watching y'all leave with all the sprites around her.
Shrimp Stomp will just instinctively wave. It's leaving.
You can't see if she waves back. It's not clear.
Nynx kind of does a little curtsy.
What does everyone just turns around?
So what are you acknowledging? Oh, shit.
What?
You see
Oh,
what looks like a woman with white long hair wearing white. standing on the forecastle, just watching you all leave.
He scratches his head.
Well, hello.
She disappears after a short while.
Oh my
We're
god.
done.
Thoradin.
You didn't do that, did you?
No, I didn't.
My God.
Hey, Thoradin's more taken aback because he didn't notice her there. So
Yeah, y'all looked all through the ship. There was no one there.
it's a ghost.
You don't believe in ghosts.
Thoradin's probably more inclined to believe in ghosts than he is
dreams.
in Fae.
No good have come from him messing with Fae.
He didn't have to believe in the Fae. He knows they're there and they're bad.
Yeah, they are.
And I just keep quiet.
Yeah, you're evil.
The less power a Fae is, the more good it is. The more power they have. I don't know.
Out of curiosity, is there still a cliff? Basically,
So yes, where the beach and then rocks meets the land, there's always a cliff of some kind. It could be short and easily climbable with little crevices from rainfall weathered in that you could climb up, or some of them are big, like the cliffs of Dover, and sheer. So there are places where you can get up onto the land and others that you can't.
so what about right here?
Directly across from this shipwreck, there's a little bit of both, but there is one passage that looked like it might be traveled sometimes up through the rocks. Maybe local people have taken this road almost.
And one more. About what time of day is this? Is it starting to get?
It is afternoon by now, maybe 2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, it's late afternoon by this point. I'm sorry.
Well, I think probably be best if we start making camp around here.
You're probably tired.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yes.
My side still hurts.
Quit complaining.
Gordon is not amused.
Well, good. Somebody's got to laugh. Might as well be me.
Listen here, you little trollop.
I'm sorry, as I'm looking down at you, Thoradin.
Down at him or down upon him?
Down at him.
She's like, yes.
He's like, you listen here. And I'm just...
Swat him away like a gnat. Get out of here.
Shrimp enthusiastically sets up his tent.
Mhm.
Sets his nice big tall new hat on on the stakes
Nice.
and just kind of starts eating some of his rations. Just super in a good mood because he got to see Umaira's impressions on the sand, and he got to see a big boat all in one day.
All in one
It
day.
was a good day.
Sure, we almost died, but
He doesn't focus on that.
And focuses on the good.
only focus on the positive.
Okay, you find a safe spot in the rocks where you know that the tide is not going to reach you. Got your tents. Are you going to make anything for dinner? I'm looking at Thoradin.
Leilathia is going to have the rest of her berries
Okay,
after she smokes some sky thistle because they just taste way better.
way better.
Way
I
better.
bet.
Nink's good some of her clam meat. And puts it on a stick and just kind of cooks it in the fire.
Oh no.
You killed him.
Adele Sonora studies her spell book.
So, Thoradin does indeed start cooking.
But only for himself.
No.
Oh.
He gathered quite a little bit of clam meat. So he starts cooking a whole bunch of it up, sizzling it in
Just put her in the fire.
It's on fire. You're frying it.
Galliot's gonna start his nightly ritual of going down to the shore and praising the Fae Queen.
Once the moon rises?
Yes.
Okay. What does everyone do once the moon begins to rise?
I go with Galliot.
Okay.
Shrimpstomp's gonna eye Thornton's water food suspiciously as he heads down to go join Galliot. So the last thing he ate from the water was not good.
Not good. Okay, Galliot, how do you word your praise of the Fae Queen?
He's gonna depart from his normal saying and go with "Praise be the lady beneath the waves. May you forgive us for starting conflict upon your beach."
That's a good one. Okay. Nynx.
She's going to also, instead of leaving mushrooms, she's tonight leaving crystals
Ooh, crystal. Nice.
that she's had. And she's going to say that, my mind just went blank. That even though the crystals that she's laying beneath her are, shiny and beautiful and glisten against the waves, it's nothing compared to how beautiful, and it compares nothing to her beauty.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, Shrimpstomp, what do you do?
Shrimpstomp's going to look at the waves and say,
The fairy queen is very beautiful and also very kind for letting me see a little bit of Umira today.
Okay.
I give him a big thumbs up.
Leilathia, do you go down to the water and say anything?
I do. I go and I get one of my sky thistle seeds, and I go where the water meets the sand, and I poke a hole, and I put the seed in there, and I say, "May this bring you peace, beautiful one."
Oh, that's a good one.
Shut up, Thornton.
A moon's shadow follows you and
He
says,
buries the hole.
He uses his paw to bury it. Beautiful, most perfect Fae Queen. I am honored to be in your land. Delsinora slowly creaks her way.
She's like laying down. Dry.
No, she's not that fucked up. Not yet.
Her
She goes up
bones
there and-
sound like old wooden hinges.
Okay, now she gets down on her knees and says, "Powerful, beautiful Fae Queen, please deliver me from this problem that plagues me." Uh-oh.
That doesn't sound good.
She made a request.
I mean, she got salt in her bones, so
It may have been unwise to ask for help.
yeah.
Thoradin, what do you do?
Thoradin just yells back, "The food's ready.
Food's ready.
Just help yourselves. I've got something to take care of."
Galliot's gonna quickly wrap up
Thoradin-
and scuttle away.
Thoradin is going to start climbing up the
Mm-hmm.
that cliffside.
I think I know what you're doing.
He's gonna flash everybody.
Stand
You
up
need to
and just
stay.
expose himself.
He's going to get to the top of the cliff. Fuck the face.
Oh my
Drop
god!
his
and then
pants.
jumps.
What's that in between Thoradin's legs?
Is that a propeller?
I know. I realized I didn't even say my thing in my Nynx voice.
It's okay.
That's all right.
We're not 100% on our voice acting.
We are not.
Bro, Galliot's voice is just mine, but slightly pitched up.
That's
think-
thinking right there.
I
You can't mess
think
up.
mine's the same either way.
I think it is, yes.
You see what you get. Get what you see.
That's good. Honesty. Thornton, what do you do up on the rock?
So Thornton gets to the top of the cliff, and he tries to get as high up as he can.
Sure. There's a boulder you can get on.
Yeah, he gets on top of that, and he just kind of like looks out. He's not like he's looking towards the ocean, but he's not really like looking over the ocean. He's like looking out into the sky. You knew it's been over a year since I last talked to you, but I know it is you who appeared earlier today, and well, I want to say thank you, and I do it the only way I know I can. And he takes off his pack, sets it down on the ground, opens it up, and he pulls out the gold nugget that he had purchased earlier in the city. He lays it out with, bits of other like material, pieces of wood, things like that. And he sits down in front of it, and he starts concentrating. And he is going to cast he's going to use his channel divinity. And if anyone can like see what's going on, you see he like just kind of like sits down in kind of like a meditative position, and starts just kind of like mumbling and chanting to himself. Granted, that I doubt any of you would actually be able to hear that. And you guys start seeing like in front of him just like this blue, like very light blue glow start. And he will remain there for the next hour.
And over that time, is the gold transforming into something?
Yeah, the gold transforms, and he creates a double-headed battle axe.
Oh, sick.
With the blade made of pure solid gold.
Not full size?
Full size. It's, fashioned in dwarven style, so it's like very blocky. The haft is made of a black wood, and there's like like metal bands, shiny steel metal bands circling the haft. And Thoradin will stand up, pick this weapon up, and then just take it and shove it into the ground.
Into the boulder?
Mm-hmm. Can he actually like
make a strength check? I want to see.
Sword and stone.
13.
13. If you choose a spot where there's like a crevice filled with debris, you could get it planted enough so it wouldn't fall over.
All right.
Not be.
And the head of the axe is like at the top.
Gotcha. I figured. Okay.
And it just like kind of wedges it into this crevice as hard as he can.
Probably as a part of your channel divinity process, I think you could have made it where it would fit in well.
And he just kind of like takes a step back, looks at his work. It's this is for you, Satoan.
The moonlight glints off of the golden blades of the axe.
And he'll head back down, leave it there.
So, Leilathia, what's up with you?
Nothing much.
Nothing much?
Smoking some sky thistle. And probably going to meditate here in a little bit. Other than that, nothing.
You got a story?
I mean, everybody has a story. But after the day we had, I think just the sky thistle and rest is what I need right now.
Fair.
Moon Shadow said, What an evasive answer. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was caught off guard. Put on the spot. Made me nervous.
Galliot's like, okay, fine, never mind.
What about you?
What about me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've got a story.
Yeah.
I see what you mean, put on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
You know, my cheeks didn't get as red as yours, though.
I'm sorry. Nah, it's just my brain thinking. They do that.
Yeah, a lot. Thank goodness.
Moonshadow huffs in what might be a laugh, his version of a laugh, and just turns around and curls up.
Leilathia just falls back and lands on him.
Right. Kill your dog.
Just knocking some of the air out. It's fine.
Yeah, Thoradin comes down and sees, like, if there's any food left.
There had to have been.
Did y'all leave
Yeah.
any food?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nink's finishing off her few little clams, and then she finds a little rock, and instead of hiding under it, she just curls up on top of it.
Okay. So Sonora, she thinks she knew what. Oh yeah, she's got a high religion skill. Once you get back and there's a quiet moment after you eat, she leans forward. I was trying to get a creaking sound in my chair. Was that for Satoan?
Thoradin just kind of like stares into the fire for a few moments. He's like, it was.
I see.
I believe he intervened in the battle today.
How do you know?
Well, it was just a little bit after you went down. I was standing up against those plastic birds.
Kestrel.
Then Shrimp Stomp came up next to me. He was supposed to escape with you, but he's an alright little scamp. he's a good guy. But I noticed indentions in the sand that weren't there before.
Her expression very slowly indicates surprise.
They appeared to be hoof prints, very large hoof prints. And then, after we managed to get away a little bit, I noticed an explosion in the sand, almost as if a giant weapon was hitting the ground.
That is fascinating.
So, it's not much, but I did that for him.
The gods rarely show us their power. Are you, or were you, a priest?
Something like that, yes.
I see. There's probably a story behind that.
There is. But, I'm tired, and I should go to bed. It'll be an early morning.
Indeed. Rest well, Thoradin.
And he's gonna go to his cot, his sleeping bag.
Have y'all arranged a watch of some kind? Or just leave it to Delsinora and Leilathia?
Well, I have no problem keeping an eye out. I just need it's about 4 hours, and then Delsinora won't be by herself.
Yeah, I think Galliot's just gonna, instead of staying up, he's just gonna go to bed.
Had a rough day.
Thoradin. Go ahead.
So Shrimp Stomp's going to stay up for a little bit because he's still in a really good mood. So he'll stay up with First Watch with Delsinora and just thinking about seeing Amira again, even though it was just footprints. He got
Sexy
somewhat
footprints.
sexy footprints. He did get somewhat of his wish of being able to see her again.
If only you could have laid down in the footprint,
Yeah.
curled up in it.
belly down.
Just dick in the dirt.
No,
Push me,
straight.
mommy.
The goddess spanks,
Oh,
which would kill you.
It's just one finger.
Just one finger,
Just-
but that would look very bad from a distance.
Now, so Thoradin, he retire. He goes to his
Bedroll?
his
Sleeping bag?
bedroll. But he doesn't like lay down. He just kind of sits there,
Lost in thought.
lost in thought, and he lights up and starts smoking his pipe.
You would know that it is in fact rare for the gods to show something of themselves without being present. From the stories
Yeah.
you've heard.
So I'm Thoradin. He's thinking about that and why would Satoan do that, especially after everything that's happened to Thoradin within the last year.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
That's about it.
That's about it.
But eventually he falls asleep.
Okay. Were you all sleeping in your camp after a intense day behind you? This is now the wee hours of day 10, almost day 11, since you've met one another. We're gonna pick up next time with the next day.
Woo.
Thank you for joining us. Please hit the download button when you listen to us. That is what counts for us. Please do that if you would be so kind.
You can follow us on Twitter at Goblin House ST.
You can also follow us on Snapchat and TikTok at Goblin House Studios.
You can follow us on Facebook at Goblin House Studios also.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you later.
Nerds.